हेलो फ्रेंड्स, बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। लियाकत किराया आपके साथ है। तो जैसे कि तमाम दोस्तों को मैंने ऑलरेडी बताया हुआ था कि पिछले कुछ वीक में मेरी तबीयत ख़राब थी। मैं इसलिए यूट्यूब पे चैनल पे इतना ज़्यादा लाइव नहीं था, एक्टिव नहीं था। मैंने बहुत सी वीडियो देखी हैं चंद दिनों के दौरान अबाउट वर्क परमिट, चेंजेस इन वर्क परमिट, हाउ एंड व्हाट आर गोइंग टू बी हैपन। उसके अलावा मैंने बहुत से मैसेजेस आप लोगों से वसूल की, बहुत सी कॉल वसूल की जिन लोगों ने वर्क परमिट अप्लाई किए हुए हैं और जो लोग अब न्यू वर्क परमिट अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं। तमाम दोस्तों के क्वेश्चन थे कि हम लोग कैसे इसको कर सकें कि हम लोग बेस्ट वे में जो भी क्वेश्चंस हैं उनके आंसर करने के लिए मैंने आज का इस सेशन करने का सोचा था कि मैं आप लोगों को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन दे सकूं। तो हम आगे बढ़ने से पहले सबसे पहले जनाब शफीकुर रहमान सनी साहब स्टॉकहोम से हमारे जो भाई, अल्लाह ताला उनको जवार रहमत जगह अता फरमाए, कोविड की वजह से वफात पा गए हैं। तमाम दोस्तों से अपील है कि उनका एक तो मंडे को नमाज जनाजा है और दूसरा उनके लिए दुआ कीजिएगा जितनी कर सकते हैं। अल्लाह ताला उनको जन्नत में आला मुकाम अता फरमाए। बहुत ही प्यारे इंसान थे। अब हम बढ़ते हैं आज के टॉपिक की तरफ। जैसे मैंने बताया कि हम लोगों की जो वर्क परमिट में चेंजेस प्रपोज इन स्वीडन, तो उसमें अभी तक कोई ऐसी नई चीज़ें वर्क परमिट के अंदर नहीं है। माइग्रेशन बोर्ड की तरफ से प्रपोज जो हमारे रिक्सडाग या पार्लियामेंट ने कुछ प्रपोज चेंजिंग रखी हैं, उसके बारे में माइग्रेशन बोर्ड ने अपनी रिपोर्ट सबमिट की है। माइग्रेशन की जो रिपोर्ट है उसमें उन्होंने कुछ तजावीज़ दी हैं। इसी तरह तमाम पॉलिटिकल पार्टी स्वीडन की उन्होंने सब ने कुछ ना कुछ नई तजावीज़ दी हैं। तो उस नई तजावीज़ के होते हुए इस वक्त जो पार्लियामेंट की हैं, डिफरेंट पार्टीज़ की हैं, उनकी तरफ से, तमाम लोगों की तरफ से, और फिर सबसे ज़्यादा जो रूल है स्वीडन के अंदर वो है उनका जो नेरिंग्स लाइव जिसको कहते हैं बिजनेस कम्युनिटी। बिजनेस कम्युनिटी ने अपनी तजावीज़ दी हैं कि किस तरह वर्क परमिट के रूल को चेंज किया जाए। इस वक्त रूलिंग जो पार्टी है वो है सोशल डेमोक्रेट स्वीडन में। मैं थोड़ा सा बता दूं कि किस तरह ये फंक्शन होता है स्वीडन के अंदर लॉ चेंजिंग। स्वीडन के अंदर 2008 तक वर्क परमिट के पुराने लॉ से, जिनके मुताबिक आपको जब भी वर्क परमिट लेना होता था तो आपको आर्बसमेलियन या एम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑफिस से पहले अप्रूवल लेनी होती थी हर कंपनी को। जब वो अप्रूव कर देते थे उस वक्त यूनियन का कोई रोल नहीं होता था। तो फिर आपकी जो एप्लीकेशन है वो माइग्रेशन बोर्ड में या एम्बेसी में रिलेटेड कंट्रीज़ की वहाँ पे इशू होती थी या सबमिट की जाती थी। उस सबमिशन के बाद फिर आपको वर्क परमिट इशू होता था माइग्रेशन बोर्ड की तरफ से। लेकिन उसमें लॉ ये था कि 2 साल के बाद आपको पीआर या परमानेंट रेजिडेंस मिल जाता था वर्क परमिट पे। उस वक्त बिजनेस वीज़े पे आपको डायरेक्ट पीआर मिल जाती थी। 2008 में लॉ चेंज होने के बाद ये नए जो लॉ हैं अभी तक चल रहे हैं स्वीडन के अंदर, ये 2008 15 दिसंबर को एप्लीकेबल हुए थे। और इन लॉज के लास्ट आप कह लें कि 13 साल में 2008 अनटिल नाउ 2021 यही लॉ हुए हैं। शुरू में ही सोशल डेमोक्रेट जो रूलिंग पार्टी, अभी इन्होंने उस वक्त भी सपोर्ट नहीं किया था, अब भी नहीं करते, क्योंकि उस वक्त मॉडरेट पावर में रहे हैं 2 पीरियड 8 साल में। उनके साथ अलायंस की दूसरी पार्टी थी, सेंटर थी, केडी और लिबरल। तो इन 4 पार्टियों ने मिलकर ये लॉ बनाए थे। अब बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग सिचुएशन है स्वीडिश पार्लियामेंट के अंदर। कम्यून्स का और रीजन का कोई लिंक नहीं होता पार्लियामेंट के लॉ चेंज करने में या लॉ बनाने में। तो जितने भी उनके हैं लॉज जो पहले बने हुए हैं उनको चेंज करने के लिए पार्लियामेंट में 2/3 मेजॉरिटी चाहिए उस लॉ को चेंज करने के लिए। तो राइट नाउ जितने भी लॉज हैं यो कंटिन्यू रहेंगे। अभी जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर नई बनी है मैग्दलेना आंडरसन, उसने चंद दिन पहले ये अपने यूनियन को, एलओ जो सबसे बड़ी ट्रेड यूनियन, उसको स्पीच करते हुए कहा था कि हम लोग जो वर्क परमिट प्रेजेंट ला इसको चेंज करेंगे। बट हाउ, कैसे चेंज करते हैं? सोशल डेमोक्रेट्स के पास तो इतने वोट ही नहीं है। मिलियो पार्टी उनको ऑलरेडी पार्लियामेंट में छोड़ चुकी है, गवर्नमेंट से अलहदा हो गई है। ठीक है, जो बाकी रह गए हैं वो सेंटर पार्टी और लिबरल पार्टी, उनके वोट अगर हैं साथ, तो ये कोई भी लॉ सेंटर पार्टी जिस तरह जिस लॉ को चाहेगी सपोर्ट करेगी वो पास होगा। वो बिल्कुल लॉ चेंज नहीं करना चाहते जो प्रेजेंट लॉ है। दे आर होल्डिंग दिस लॉ। इवन मॉडरेट, उन्होंने कहा कि जी आरबीएस क्राफ्ट लॉ उन्होंने ही बनाए थे, वो कभी नहीं चेंज करेंगे इसको। स्वेर ये डेमोक्रेट एसडी की तरफ से कोई चेंजिंग प्रपोज है, कोई सोशल डेमोक्रेट और वेंस्टर तो पहले दिन से मुखालफ थे कि बाहर से किसी को ना दिए काम करने के लिए। हमारे यहाँ जो लोग ऑलरेडी काम कर रहे हैं सिर्फ उनको यहाँ पे रखें, और जो आरबित लोग या लोग हैं जिनके पास अनएम्प्लॉयड है उन्हीं को काम पे दिए। अब जो सिचुएशन है उसके मुताबिक मॉडरेट कह रहे हैं कि हम सैलरी इंक्रीज करेंगे, ताकि हम सैलरी को ले जाएं, डबल कर दें या एटलीस्ट 20,000 प्लस कर दें। तो उससे जो क्रिमिनल लोग हैं, कौन से वो लोग जो वर्क परमिट देते हैं और फिर लोगों से कहते हैं कि हमें पैसे दो, टैक्स अपना जमा कराओ, हम आपको वर्क परमिट ऑफर करते हैं, आप काम भी करो। इसको कहते हैं कि आप स्लेवरी या ह्यूमैनिटी को यूज करते हैं, मिस यूज करते हैं। तो वो मोस्टली किन कंपनियों में होता है? क्लीनिंग में, रेस्टोरेंट में, वर्कशॉप में, नेल्स जो और मसाज सेंटर्स, इनके ऊपर। तो इनको मिनिमाइज करने के लिए, इन क्रिमिनल लोगों को सबक सिखाने के लिए कुछ पार्लियामेंट ने काम किया था अप्रैल के अंदर। उसके बाद उन्होंने वो अपनी जो रिकमेंडेशन थी वो भेजी थी माइग्रेशन बोर्ड को, कि माइग्रेशन बोर्ड भी इसमें अपना हिस्सा डाले और बताए गवर्नमेंट को कि क्या क्या चेंजिंग करना जरूरी है इसके अंदर। सबसे पहले हम डिस्कस करते हैं पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का। मॉडरेट चाहते हैं, जो एम है, कि हम लोग सैलरी को इंक्रीज कर दें, तो ये क्रिमिनल लोगों को वर्क परमिट इतनी सैलरी नहीं दे सकेंगे जितनी रिक्वायर है। हालांकि वो लोग तो पहले ही कहाँ देते हैं, जिन्होंने क्रिमिनल हैं वो तो सारे अपने एम्प्लॉय पे डालते हैं, भाई कि तू काम भी कर, you have to do work also and you pay your taxes. It's slavery, and this is mostly in the which criminal gangs are वो people, वो लोग जो लोएस्ट कास्ट बिजनेस रन करना चाहते हैं, वो लोगों को मिस यूज करते हैं। तो वो सैलरी इंक्रीज करने पे, सैलरी बढ़ाने से ये काम खत्म हो जाएगा। इसी तरह जो स्वेरिया डेमोक्रेट एसडी, वो कहते हैं कि हम इसको वैसे ही खत्म कर दें, मिनिमाइज कर दें, ओनली हाईली क्वालिफाइड लोगों को वर्क परमिट दें। सेंटर पार्टी और मिलियो पार्टी जो प्रेजेंट लॉ है उनको चेंज नहीं करना चाहते दोनों। अगर कोई भी लॉ पास होगा तो सेंटर और मिलियो पार्टी को साथ लेके पास होगा, और वो दोनों स्टैंड कर रही हैं कि जो प्रेजेंट लॉ है इट्स वर्किंग गुड, वी नो नीड टू चेंज दिस लॉ, दे नॉट वोट टू एनी न्यू लॉ। रिगार्डिंग सोशल डेमोक्रेट्स, मगदलेना अंडरसन जिनकी प्राइम मिनिस्टर है अभी, इनके टोटल जो वोट थे अभी प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनते हुए 174 इसने लिए थे, 175 और 174 इसकी अपोजिशन में थे। तो इसके पास इतने वोट नहीं है कि वो उसको कर सके, ये चेंज कर सके लॉ को। इसलिए उसने स्पीच तो जरूर कर दी एलओ के अंदर कि हम इसको टाइट करने जा रहे हैं, लेकिन सोशल डेमोक्रेट की अगर वेबसाइट पे जाएं तो वो क्या कहते हैं, बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग सिचुएशन है। उस पे इन्होंने अपने नेक्स्ट जो इलेक्शन है उसके पहले लिखा है, क्रैव फॉर इंस्टेलिंग ऑफ थल फॉर आरबिस तिलस्तुन, कि हम क्रिमिनलिटी को कैसे खत्म करें, जो लोग क्रिमिनल हैं जो मिस यूज करते हैं मैन पावर को। And they say in there that we want in place of offer of employment, जो रूलिंग पार्टी सोशल डेमोक्रेट, वो कहते हैं कि हम इसको चेंज किस तरह करेंगे, वी विल ब्रिंग द न्यू लॉ विद installing of thal bindande. It means that every employer who employ any people outside European Union or within Sweden, he or she, the organization must guarantee that he will pay the equal amount of salary to which he agreed. Right now, which is law, it's allow you when you become a bring a person from outside EU, or you install anyone or you employ anyone from within Sweden, you no need to have follow the offer of employment. You can do changing, and you make a employment contract with other conditions, and that work of employment is considered essential or a real document which you and your employer agree. तो इस वजह से ये कह रहे हैं कि वो मिस यूज करते हैं क्रिमिनल लोग इसको। इसको खत्म करने के लिए तमाम पार्टियां शोर डाला हुआ था कि जी क्रिमिनल आर्बिट्रेज क्राफ्ट जो लोग इस्तेमाल करते हैं हम उसको खत्म करेंगे। तो उसके बारे में प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने एक बयान दे दिया एलओ को कि हम लोग चेंज करेंगे। क्या लिखा वो, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज सैली सोशल डेमोक्रेट्स, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज एनीथिंग, दे जस्ट वांट टू इंश्योर दैट एवरी पर्सन हु वर्किंग इन एनी profession like cleaning, restaurant or anywhere, he or she must get his or her salary. This is social democrat what they are going to change, but they can't change anything because it's only until September government and then have a new election, and after new election the new parliament, new Riksdag members, they will decide what they are going to change. So वर्क परमिट्स के लॉ अभी कोई चेंज नहीं हो रहे, इस साल वही चलेंगे जो लॉ है। सेकंड, नेरिंग लाइफ जो स्वीडिश बिजनेस कम्युनिटी है उसकी प्रोपोजिशन क्या है। उन्होंने सबमिट की अपनी रिपोर्ट एंड इन देयर रिपोर्ट दे स्टैंड दैट Uh, we recommend that increase of salaries is not a solution. It will be a burden on business community. Number two, they said that you can guarantee or give more power to migration board, police, and and tax office that they can control the organization whatever and whenever they want. Second one, third one, uh, they have offer that there should be a committee which composed of member of parliaments about migration consultants and about the narrowing leaves or business community which can formulate new law which will be acceptable for all parties, whole Riksdag and other people. But still, it's a hung parliament. It's a deficit parliament. There is nobody here majority. No new law can be passed in this parliament just now. So very clearly, this law which is present is not going to be changed in next whole year. After election, when we get new parliament, the law can be changed, not before that. So, all the people which have applied, are they going to apply for work permit? There is no changing, and you no need to worry about anything. Increase of salaries. If after election there will be majority and moderate KD and SD, they become in power. But we don't forget that there is a between party that is center party. If they hold the position key role and Milieu party came into parliament, they people will decide who and which law have to pass, because from both right wings and Venstre and लेफ्ट विंग जिसमें सोशल डेमोक्रेट्स और वेंस्टर पार्टी और मिल्यू पार्टी हैं और इनके मिडिल में है सेंटर पार्टी। अगर इन दोनों पार्टियों के दरमियान कोई भी एग्रीमेंट अगर नहीं होता फ्यूचर में, देयर विल बी नो चेंज इन एनी ऑफ द लॉ। टू कंटिन्यू दिस in parliament and discussions more and more, you have to wait for next election. मैं जितनी भी वीडियो मैंने देखी हैं जी, पार्लियामेंट में लॉ चेंज हो रहे हैं, स्वीडिश में न्यू वर्क परमिट के लॉ आ रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। अब आते हैं माइग्रेशन बोर्ड की रिकमेंडेशन की तरफ, जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है। माइग्रेशन बोर्ड ने जो अपनी रिकमेंडेशन भेजी है उसमें ज़्यादा था मॉडरेट और सेंटर पार्टी का कि माइग्रेशन बोर्ड छोटी छोटी गलतियों की वजह से, ड्यू टू स्मॉल मिस्टेक, माइग्रेशन बोर्ड इज इशूइंग एक्सपेल्शंस ऑफ हाईली क्वालिफाइड पीपल फ्रॉम द कंट्री। तो इसमें सेंटर पार्टी और मॉडरेट दोनों ने मिलकर ये कहा था कि हम लोग नहीं चाहते कि छोटी छोटी मिस्टेक की वजह से आप लोगों को यहाँ से निकाल दें। जो नई प्रपोज चेंजिंग है जिसमें पार्लियामेंट कमेटी पूरी ने काम किया है उसमें ये वाज़ेह लिखा हुआ है कि आइंदा किसी भी बंदे को 3 माह नहीं, उसको 9 माह दिए जाएंगे। अगर उसकी जॉब चली जाती तो उन्हें जॉब ढूंढ ले। माइग्रेशन बोर्ड भी इसके साथ एग्री करता है कि उसको रखा जाए, जो माइग्रेशन बोर्ड ने अपनी सबमिट की रिपोर्ट। सेकंड, माइग्रेशन बोर्ड ने ये भी कहा है कि जो लोग ट्रैक चेंज करना चाहते हैं, यानी बिजनेस से वर्क परमिट और वर्क परमिट से बिजनेस वीजा को, उन तमाम लोगों को हमें दिया जाए इख्तियार कि हम उनका पिछला वीजा, फर्ज किया किसी को वर्क परमिट था और वो बिजनेस वीजे पे चला गया, या बिजनेस वीजे पे आया था वर्क परमिट चला गया, तो हमें दिया जाए इख्तियार कि हम उसको रिवोक कर सकें। थर्ड जो है उनकी ये थी कि हम किसी भी उत्विजनिंग नहीं कर रहे, या किसी लोगों को भी जो माइग्रेट नहीं इधर हैं, जो हाईली क्वालिफाइड लोग हैं, 97% को हमने एक्सटेंशन दी है पिछले ड्यूरेशन में। हमने सिर्फ, आप कह लें कि 20% लोग या 15% या 5% वो लोग थे जिनको एक्सपेल किया, जिनके एम्प्लॉयर ने 2 दफा कहने के ऊपर भी आपने चेंज नहीं की थी टर्म एंड कंडीशन, या उन्होंने मिस्टेक्स को ओवर रूल कर नहीं किया था, उनको चेंज नहीं किया था, देन वी हैव एक्सपेल द पीपल फ्रॉम द कंट्री। और उसके बाद माइग्रेशन बोर्ड ने कहा है कि हमें जो एक फ्रेमवर्क दिया जाए जिसमें क्लियर हो सारी टर्म एंड कंडीशंस, हाउ वी फॉलो व्हाट कंडीशंस फॉर वर्क परमिट एंड व्हाट फॉर बिजनेस वीजास। लाइक माइग्रेशन बोर्ड से इन बिजनेस वीजास दे डोंट हैव राइट नो इन लॉ एनी power that they can revoke your business visa. Once it's granted. Migration board can do max, they can extend your, if you after 2 years your result is not satisfactory, they can extend it for 1 year more, nothing else. And after that you have right when you 37 month are ready to become a permanent. uh, इसी तरह जो न्यू लॉ है उसमें प्रपोज्ड हैं जो पार्लियामेंट के अंदर, उसमें ये भी रखा गया है, कैन द वर्क परमिट के लिए और बिजनेस वीजा के लिए लोगों को 9 महीने का वीजा दिया जाए। जो बाहर से ईयू के बाहर के लोग हैं वो वहां से आके उस 9 मंथ वीजे पे ऊपर काम नहीं कर सकते, डिलीवरी नहीं कर सकते, कोई ऐसा काम नहीं कर सकते जो लीगली अलाउ नहीं है, लेकिन वो अपनी जॉब सर्च कर सकते हैं अगर वो यूनिवर्सिटी की डिग्री रखते हैं होम कंट्री में। इसमें ये एक ही कंडीशन रखी है उन्होंने, people who are qualified at least 240 criteria from university, mean 4 year bachelor, they can come to Sweden, or they have master degree 2 year bachelor and 2 year master. They can come to Sweden in future with 9 month of visa, and they can search job here, or they can find a business opportunity, and that business opportunity they can use later to apply for business visa or work permit. So in future, if after next election, is there any change in law, it will be like this, that people will be allowed on 9 months residence permit. They come in within the country, but migration board have opposed it. They said they have already giving chance to people to come here, but it's not real. But Parliament want that they give at least 9 month visa. The people can come and search job, and if they have already did their bachelor and master degree, in whole process of work permit and business visa law and new proposed, there is no changing about any university laws or anything that they need students have to do 60 credit hour or they have to complete their degree is not yet any applicable. There are court decisions last week came which about was about the student visa extension, so that previously Supreme Court have give ruling that you have at least complete 15 credit hour first year, 22 credit hour second year, and 37 in 3 year if you need to extend your visa and you paying fee at the university regular and you doing your classes regularly. But now the court has to give ruling, if a student due to under circumstances cannot reach to 15 credit hour, he or she still have chance to get your valuable time to extend your visa. Then as we concentrate on work permit today, as I said earlier, we are going now to talk about work permit changes. As I said, there is no changing right now. It all changes proposed by in the parliament. No party can agree on each other, and this will be no changing until election in 22 in September. And after that, if new parliament came into power, so might be the new regulations will be start for work permit from the mid of 2023. But there is nothing you have, if you are applicant, if you are going to apply for government, no need to worry about anything. It's not going to hurt you, it's going to hurt those black sheep which are misusing the people, which asking people that you have to pay your taxes, we have to, if you giving job, why not you giving salary, why you are make slaves the people. So I think it's very good thing, government should to be do it as early as more before. As Hunter Party and Milio Party, they have proposed that there should be strict control on employment, that migration board, police, and tax office, they have to right to go and check, or they can ask. There is one more point, they can ask to employer that every 3 months they have to control and send all salary slips, everything to migration board. But it will be big burden on migration board to have more and more salaries and get more work for them, and they have to employ more. If government give them budget and infrastructure to do this, then they can get proved this and get help from the state to perform this duty. Otherwise it will be a burden on migration board, on police and tax office. uh, Anything which is present, there are from political parties, social democrat, they, which is prime minister, she only want that there will be a strict contract which should to be followed. They are not talking about increased salaries, they're not talking about a reduced work permit. And then moderate and liberal and KD, they want that low qualified people should not allowed work permit, for example cleaning, for example workshops. But their migration board accept that list every year, which is formed by the Arbetsförmedlingen. Arbetsförmedlingen, or job employment agency in Sweden, they made a list of professions which Sweden need more and more people. Every year they issue one list. What I included in that? IT developers, doctors, nurses, teachers, uh, cook, and last bill chauffeurs, drivers for trucks. They need more and more these in Sweden. They more need manpower, but they don't want that criminals people use this system and they make slave to the people, especially from outside European Union. There are a lot of reports from restaurants, from cleaning companies, from bars, from uh, which is nails cutting, and some massage center, that they bring human being from outside European Union and then they use them and as a slave. They don't pay them salaries, they make their salaries and ask them that they have to pay their taxes by themselves on. So only this government want to control. And in control, every political party has right to submit its migration policy on arbetskraft. Arbetskraft, unwandering, or employment of people from the outside EU. Social Democrats, number one, may I repeat it again, they want that people have to give guarantee of their salaries. How? A very strict and binding contract between employee and employer, which should to be ensured by the migration board. Nothing else. This is their website. You can go to Arbetskraft and Wandering on Social Democrats website. They can, you can see there is no strict regulation for to be allowed or not allowed. Liberal and KD, what they want low qualified or unskilled labor should be stopped and increased labor, which is qualified people, that they come more and more in Sweden. Uh, at right now, you know, Sweden need 9,000 teacher more in next few years. They need more doctors, they need nurses, they need IT engineer here in Sweden. They need cook, they need drivers, so they can't stop for a permanent policy and they don't want to it because according to their requirements. As a right now, moderates say that we should increase the level of salaries from 13,000 to 26,000, or if they agreed with center, with KD and other, so they can have salaries about 20,000. But it all will be in 2020, 2024. There's no change before, and it not hurt you which people have already applied or which have already got work permits. Only governments offering to how to minimize the criminal people, how they do not use people as a slave. नेक्स्ट हम चलते हैं अगले में। दूसरी तरफ मैंने क्या था, ईयू लेवल पे। ईयू लेवल पे 23 नवंबर को यूरोपियन पार्लियामेंट में एक डिस्कशन हुई थी पहले बहुत ज़्यादा इन अप्रैल में, पिछले कोरोना के बाद भी डिजिटल मीटिंग्स में पूरी ईयू की, कि हाउ वी कैन मेक बेटर legal system for skilled and unskilled labor force, how they can come to Europe and people do not put their lives in risk of ferries and illegal means and did not use agents. So after that, it was long discussion in EU Parliament. On 23rd of November, resolution was put in the Parliament. EU Parliament have passed that resolution in which they make new many proposed changes. It was the leading by the Center Party of Sweden, member of Parliament, who bring this motion to Parliament, and European Parliament passed it with vast majority. 497 members were in the favor of this resolution, 168 were against, and 36 members, which how extreme level the other parties, they didn't vote for this. So according to this resolution of European Union, EU need a shortage of lot of skilled and unskilled labor. A new member, which is which is in Germany, new government is coming next week. Angelica Merkel have got her farewell yesterday, and new government, which is new immigration minister and manpower minister, they have a press conference before, and they announced that Germany need 400,000 people in next 3 years from outside EU to get jobs and get work in Germany. This is the most relaxed immigration policy in whole EU which Germany has introduced, that you can get a job search visa in Germany if you only complete your A level German language, and you can apply and you come to Germany 1 year visa and you can search job there. Very easy, very simple. There's no hurdles. And same like when Germany have needed 400,000 skilled and unskilled worker in next few years, how other uh, countries, that's why it was proved by the parliament with vast majority. 497 member of parliament have given vote in the favor. What they have then passed, that according to new laws, as I said, they are going to issue same more than 1 year, or 1 year, at least 1 year visa, that people come easily if they are qualified at skill level or they have a university degree. For skill level, they have to be all people which want to apply in EU. This law will be discussed and Parliament will pass on end of the January 2022. On 23rd January or 26th January, Parliament pass this law. After then pass this law, the all member state will get 1 year to implement on that one. When this law is passed in EU Parliament, then every country have to make similar framework, that all job seeker visas will be 1 year allowed to whole European Union. There is written that if you get 1 year visa in one country, but you can find job in whole European where you can get, or you can start freely your work in which state of the EU you want. Second proposed is that all which are diploma holders are skilled labor from different skilled institutes, which they have a skill like drivers, like cooks, or any, you have a professional building or education, not university degree. It will be European Union going to make a framework that how you will be, your degree will be evaluated in EU, and you will get also residence permit for that. Third one, as EU long-term residence period. At present, there are 5 year long residence permit if you living in a EU state, and to get EU long-term status, you have to wait 5 years. But as proposed in new laws in EU Parliament, this is going to be changed from 5 year to 3 year. When you live in any EU state, 3 year, you have a right and you are permanent resident. You are going to get your right to be with EU residence card. You can move freely from one state to other state. And also one more going to change, that if you have a work permit in one state, you are going to find a job and it's going to allow you that you can, even you have a business visa or you have work permit, they are going to give you right in future that you can move from one state to the other state and start your own business, or you can find a job there in other country. If there is some uh, not any hot or any criminal record, people will move freely. EU is going to make from after the January new laws that make more flexible to the people, as Croatia is qualified now for EU or Schengen. So from 2023, Croatia will be June will be member of Schengen state. So all people which living in Croatia, they have a very good chance that they move to other countries. So the changing in laws not coming only in Sweden is going to be shortage in whole Europe manpower, and they need more and more manpower. So that's why EU Parliament passed this law, passed this resolution with the high majority, and from 23rd of January there is will be discussion and proposals will be submitted for to make a law. If European Parliament relax this law and make easy for you all people to get legal way for skilled, for university people to come into the country. As I told, Germany already announced job search visa. Spain and Greenland, they have already announced one visa for 1 year that you can come. Like Sweden is going to be 9 months. They have already announced that you cannot take a job or work on that visa, but you can find an opportunity to start a company, or you can work away, remote work from Greenland or Spain or Croatia. These three countries which have started from December 2020. This visa 1 year. Greenland start in July. That you can apply a, if you have, there are two requirements, that you running a business or you are employed a key position in a company in any country outside EU, but you want to run your company on digital or you have client outside European Union, so you have right that you can get a 1 year visa, but you cannot get job on then 1 year visa. Later on, Spain offer that they can translate this 1 year to 3 years and then can 5 years. But if you establish your business, so similar, Sweden need more entrepreneur, small companies. After that, it's going to be very big thing in EU level. If EU Parliament pass this law on 23rd of January or end of the January or in the beginning of February, then all member states have must to follow that one. So it will be a very very good opportunity for all who people want to run their business or want to study or want to come to Europe with legal immigration way. And now we talk a little bit about business visas and a lot of humors from last few months, and many students which are newcomer in Sweden, they asking about are there any chance, because they heard from some you can say consultant in their home countries, or that Sweden is going to increase the changes in work permit. There's no change going to be change about 30 credit hour. There's no going to be change. All student which coming to Sweden, they have right. Parliament give them right. They have decide that if you are going to be complete at least one termine or 30 credit, you still right to apply for a permit if you find a job offer, or you have find a business opportunity and you have a previous experience in business in your home country, you can apply for business visa or CF and so can within the country, and they can prove from here. There is no change in even business law. There is no change in work permit, and all people who have applied or which are going to apply. About permanent law, there are changes which already Parliament have done, and law is applicable on from 20th July 2021. Why this law was passed? Because Centre Party and Milieu Party were worked together with Social Democrats and Venstre Party, because these two parties have removed the uh, condition of sea level language to become a permanent in Sweden, which done by the Social Democrats, but they have removed it. So they compromise each other to do this. About business visas, there is lot of rejection due to language right now. At least 70% rejection which coming on students and other which are changing track of business visa, it's due to language. I always ask you people, all my friends, all my younger ones which coming, that the language key. You have to complete. Try your best to do your complete your degree. Nobody harm you, and this degree will always support you. Even you don't complete your degree, but you have a language with you. You must have previous experience with you to continue to support, to show the migration board. Many people are arguing, no, there is written on the website of Migration Board that Swedish are English. Yes, I know that there is written. If you are applying outside European Union and you have there and you can get visa still on English if you have very strong business experience and everything is right. But within country, when you are here and more than 6 months and you have not language, Migration Board consider that you are not serious and you don't learn from a business environment from Sweden, and you must have to prove language. That's why they always have excuses to refuse your application. So when you come to Sweden, start your language with parallel to your studies. If you have a later to be employed or you have a plan to be apply as a business visa. There are a lot of rejection on uh, right now, many due to Uber Eats, Fodera, Volt. So if you have any opportunity, any realistic business plan, court say migration board that you must have your business plan realistic. If your business plan is a realistic, you can get easily your business visa. But if you have not properly done homework, I saw many applications of students. They just have nothing fail, even not complete application fail, not they complete even business application forms. And then they asking, no, migration board I did wrong. They're not giving me visa. How migration board can give you visa when your application is totally blank? You have don't language, you don't have previous experience in your home country. The basic requirement three, you must have complete 30 credit, you must have show the bank account, and you have must have previous experience in your home country. One example, one of my friend, he has everything. He has language showing them. He has running business very good. His company turnover very good. But what he did is small mistake. At the end, when migration board asked him to show the 200,000 amount which he or she must have in our account, is called for showing medal, that living cost or maintenance cost in the country. What he did, he sent to the migration board his company's 200,000 account, and migration board have rejected his application due to this reason, that he has not showing in personal account any money. That's why, so always we blame others. We should concentrate on the basic requirement which migration board ask all the time. Second, a lot of question I got about EU uh, free movement law of 2003, executive order, and 2004-38, which gave EU citizens to move from one country freely within European to other country. Lot of people have get when they apply now after 5 years, and first in 2016-17 they don't have any income. They just got 3 months tax and they got their 5 year card, and then they went to Pakistan 6 months, 3 months in Italy, 2 months in Greenland, and when now they apply extension, migration board has checked 5 year. They asked to send from tax office record for 5 year. When they send the record for 5 year, they refuse to give them permanent residence. Some of them expelled and sent back to their home countries, not home countries where they came from, for example, Italy, Greenland. But some of them, migration board asked them to apply again, and they gave them 5 years residence card. Same with their migration board asked them to uh, provide their which are dependents, how they survive. Have they job from last 5 years or not? If they don't have job in last 5 years, they don't give you permanent residence. All co-applicants which living with the EU free member reunifications, they must have their 5 year period which are dependent are living with you in Sweden. But other countries like you came here and you spouse already living here and you have only 3 months, yeah, 4 months your residence card, and then you going to apply for permanent residence. The main applicant living here, he has already 5 years and he will get his application approved because he has 5 years. But you have came late after him 3 months or 7 months. You were in home country, so you have to complete your 5 year. And second, in last 1 year, when you living in Sweden, you should must have, if you are more than 18 year, you must have so your own income. In that case, if you don't have your own income, you're not getting your permanent residence. About work permit, about residence permit, family reunification, or business visa. If you have still questions, you can send comments on YouTube, Kagnag Sweden, or on Kagnag homepage, or on Facebook, or on LinkedIn. I will try my best to answer one of you each what you have problems. One of work permit case came to me and he asked that I have applied work permit in 2016 in Sweden. I complete 2 years work permit, and then I have applied again work permit in 2018, and they didn't extend my work permit, and they sent me home country. I applied there, and in 2019 I came. Now I have work in Sweden more than 48 months. When I apply for work permit extension or permanent residence, migration board has refused me to give me permanent residence. Why? The reason was behind that. First 2 year when you got your work permit, it was confined to a special or specific your employer, and it was on the specific of your profession. Yeah, it's IRKE that you cannot change your profession or your employer in first 2 years. But when you going to change your profession in within 2 years and you work with many employer, it's illegal work. Migration board not considered it that you have legally work, because what is legal ground, that you have to be confined to own employer and on same special IRKE or profession where you have been granted your residence permit. So during first 2 year, you can't work with 2 or 3 employers. You can't do changing jobs. If you do this, it's illegal. And migration court has very clearly said that all people, when they apply for work permit, there should to be considered their first duration period 2 years. Are all requirement are filled, are followed or not? If there is one thing that your employer didn't pay your insurance, your employer didn't have pay your salary right time, or you didn't got your semester days. Excuse. So there is chance that they can refuse your extension. When they can refuse your extension, you can not get next work permit. You are already lost your right to get work permit extension within the country. You have to leave the country and apply again work permit from home country. But your first 2 years, you have to did not follow the term and condition. So in future, government is going to do this, that employer should follow, not employee. Employer should follow if he is found guilty that he not paying you taxes on the time, he not paying you salary on the time, or he getting slavery. in new proposed law by the parliament in April 2020, which is going to implement maybe after election. There will be punishment, 2 years at least, or heavy fines on the employer. So all these changes which is going to be in law, these are suitable for you, better for you, which are going to apply work permit. So when you lose your terms and condition first 2 year, similar, one engineer who has work permit in Sweden 2 years, his salary was civil engineer. He did his master in Shalmar RN University. When he applied it to for extension, he was an electrical engineer and he was working in one very big uh, energy company who making heat pumps as a road giver. So as a uh, when he applied his extension after 2 years, his salary was 26,000. But his employer, what he did, his job start from August. His employer, August, September, October, November, December, didn't pay his insurance and his pension. He start his pension from 1st January, first 5 months he didn't pay his pension. When he applied extension, migration board have check and they check and they check and they send a letter 3 times to his employer. After that, they has send him a letter that according to union profession, you have a salary must 32,000. And in last 2 years, your employer didn't increase your salary according to collective Avtal. All people who working in Sweden, when they getting experience more and more, they getting more money. But you didn't have any increase of your salaries from last 2 years. Due to that, they have refused engineer, electrical engineer. Even salary was same, which 2 years before he got work permit 26,000. There were two mistakes. One of his employer didn't pay his insurance. Excuse me. Second, they have not followed the new collective avtal or which is standard of profession in trade union. Second, they didn't pay his insurance of 4 months. On this ground, migration board have refused his residence permit. So, uh, similar like now, lot of students who coming in Sweden, what they doing? With they coming with 2 years visas, but they changing their degree to 1 year, 60 credit hour. University allow them that do this. When after 60 credit hour, before lot of people have got job search visas, but now migration board not going to give more job search visas. When you are coming here with 2 year degrees program, you have to complete 2 years. If you after 1 year want to apply for job search visa, migration board now has started to decline it. They refuse to you to give you visa for job search after 60. If you are come to Sweden with 60 credit hour 1 year degree and you complete, you get your 1 year job search. But if you came with 2 year degree project which 5 universities offering, Hamstar, Linnaeus, Uppsala, and Jönköping and one other. If you coming with this project and you don't complete your 2 years and you complete only 1 year, you don't have right to apply for job search visa. It's very clearly migration board started making decision. The time duration which you have first time admitted, you have to complete your degrees. Second one, if you come to the university, for example, you came to university in Halmstad and after 10 credit hour you left and you have next termine you start to other university and you complete your 30 credit hour there in other university language or English. When you're going to apply for a work permit, migration board don't accept it. They don't consider your 30 credit hour. You are in first time which you granted a visa of 2 years or 1 year or 6 months for other studies. You have changed your degree programs. You must have to be uh, then complete 30 credit hour. When you complete and submit work permit application, migration board asking you to leave the country and wait in your home country to get your work permit application approved. All this happened with students. Similarly, one student who applied job search visa, he completed his 2 years degree program. But what happened? He completed his degree one semester with extra. When he applied for extension, migration board didn't give decision. And when migration board didn't give a decision, he complete that degree under that time. After completing degree, he has applied for job search visa. Now, migration board have what did? They take his job search visa application away and they decide his extension application when he already complete degree and ask him to leave the country. So be careful. Always when you are going to plan your studies, you are going to complete your degree within the due time. And if you need extension, if you coming on 2 year program, if you got 1 year visa, you have to complete normally 70%. Law say you must 15 credit hour first year, but try to, if you want to extension, maximum credit hour. If there is 5 credit hour, 10 credit hour remaining. I applied for a lot of student extension and I heard many students that they when apply extension, they don't give me. But I don't know. The student which I applied, they got extension within 1 week. They not have any problem with their studies. They have very good economy. And if you send a complete application to migration board, they will never refuse it. They will never delay it. They effectively working day and night with your applications. But problem is always I saw it's on our ends. We submitting applications which are not complete. We sending applications which have weaknesses. We sending application with some minuses always in our applications which we must fulfill and complete. If you have got visa for 2 years, so you must have 2 years complete your education. You come here, get opportunity to complete your education. Try to complete your education. That's the best way. Lot of students which going to after business or work permanent after 1 semester, then you have to plan very good. You must have a language skills. Language is a key. If you have language, you can excel your field in every field and you can go forward without any problem. Similarly, rejections, there are a lot of rejection in the right way. In couple of last 3 4 weeks, there is more than 20 people who got rejected in business visas. There are a lot of people who get rejection in work permit. But the reason all people have did their mistakes in their applications. Small mistakes, big mistakes. Small mistake, big mistake. So migration board consider especially every application on separate way. They try to checklist on every application. For example, one student, he has applied a work permit on after 30 credit hour. He working on a car. The advertisement which his employer did for courier job, he said he delivering packets and foods and uh, in this area, for example. And when the migration board have seen the advertisement, there is really very clearly written that you need have a essential qualification for this job that you have a B license. Migration board, when they open application, they ask student, please send us your driving license. Student don't have that driving license. He did not either. He didn't read his offer of employment. He didn't read advertisement. What is written advertisement? What advertisement against I'm going to start job? And employer don't have collective avtal. He with union. If your employer don't have collective avtal, he can change and term and condition whatever you want. So always when you are going to get a work permit or you start a work somewhere, you first requirement you ask your employer, have you collective agreement with union? If he or she said no, so there is no security that he cannot misuse you of his powers and he can get extra work from you. He cannot pay your salary at time. He cannot pay your insurance. So always ask your employer first, have you collective agreement? Have you pension insurance for me? If these two things are there, then you are safe. Then nobody can cheat you. Then they have must pay your salaries, they must pay have your taxes, they must pay have your insurance, your accidental insurance and everything. In normally the 70% of our employer which are foreigners employer, they avoid all the time from to be have a collective agreement with trade union, and this all the time uh, causing problem for employees. There is many other things which you have to follow. For example, I ask you, telling you about that guy who has a uh, contract on that he's going to deliver packet with car. What they said again, when migration board asked them the letters, they see that in your advertisement there is written that you need a driver who can do deliver packet, but you sending no driving license. And then they send a new contract that he is doing delivery on cycle both. Migration board asks, okay, send us his cycle and a moped where he going to delivery and area where he deliver, how long, how many kilometers it will be. When migration board did their utredning or investigation in the case, they see that there is much mistakes in their installing of thal. Their employment contract written that he's working with the car, and their advertisement written, but the guy has no driving license in Sweden valid. He is already more than 1 year. And his employer either not get permission from the transport agency to be undantag or permission for avoiding of Swedish license. If you don't have Swedish license and you are getting job related to your Swedish license and your job is not permanent and you temporarily work, your employer must apply to social status it dispense, which letter showing that you have given permission to drive temporarily until your temporary residence permit in Sweden. And if you have to live permanently in Sweden, you must have Swedish driving license. This Swedish driving license will help you to get that work permit application approved. Mostly these kind of small mistakes, similar like I got a guy. Just I got a question, so I just read it. Ali Rehan Saab, he said one question: Migration Board can accept credit hours letter from SFE school if C language has not passed. Ali Bhai, Migration Board is always accepting your letter, but before they was when you have uh, very close, when your teacher writing on letter that you are attending 100% or 95% attendance during the period, our teacher mentioned that Ali has started his SFE in the month of August and going to complete in end of the February. If you just showing then a letter just when your case is going already open and you are going to be send a letter after 1 week or 2 week before that, migration board don't accept that one. If you study 1 year or 3 month regularly and your teacher can say that you are studying regularly and there is no problem with your studies, and he or she is assure you that you are going to finish this course on this date, then you can easily get approved. But just they send a letter is not enough right now. If any questions other people, so right now, so I will be able to answer you. If anything you're in your mind, so just ask me. I will try my best to answer you. There is still 1.5 minutes. I have to finish it on 5, and I will try, every Sunday. So give you answer of your questions, which answer I get in a week. So if you have any questions, I will give you, but best I can. How much Swedish language does matter to get job in Sweden? Hassan Zaman Khan. Hassan bhai, that's all depend on you and your profession. If you have a IT your profession and basic language you can learn and you can get job. If you are doctor or engineer or you are nurse, definitely your profession require more job, more language. Then you have to complete C1 or Svenska 3 to gymnasium level which you want to finish it, and then you have to pass medical test about doctors also, and then you can get approved your application and get easily job. But for odd jobs, one thing I can explain you, Sweden have there lot of jobs. यहाँ पे jobs की कमी नहीं है, many jobs. But problem is that none of us which coming from outside, 90% they start work from day one, and they don't put their concentration on to get a job in Sweden. That's why it's always difficult to say which level of jobs. But to get a professional job in your field, in office as a teacher, you have to be get to at least college level or gymnasium level or Swedish language 3. There are many means how you can learn language. For example, if you don't have person number, you can go to Folk University. There are a lot of private companies which are teaching, and they which have their lessons. They can approve. You can pass there, and you can get your language. Even you sitting in your home country, if you have applied student visa, you can make a little bit better development in your language, and it always support you when you come to Sweden. So thank you for everyone. If you have still some which is not clear about work permit business visas, so ask me on next Sunday. We meet again. Thank you everyone. Have a nice weekend and enjoy. Tomorrow is Monday, first working day, and we see how we will be live going on. So keep continue and work hard. Uh, Hassan Liakbhai, I have spouse study visa. If you have study visa, Hassan Bhai, you have no worried about. Just concentrate on study, on a job, or find a job. Actually, it depends upon your field of studies and your previous experience. Mostly, if you have a previous experience, a lot of people are getting job. For example, I meet one guy, he has not much education, but he came on to spouse visa. He working as a technical in a college. I just very happy to see him that he didn't complete, but he has his technical education from home country, from Pakistan, and he got job easily here because he know the work or communication. He working in a college, all their multimedia projector and these things he fixing in their college. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.